So we talked about it briefly during the Transformer Slag podcast live stream just this past Saturday, but I wanted to do a little bit of a deeper dive into our very first look of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Commander Class 2-pack of Constructicon members Hook and Longhaul. So Evan from the Transformer design team, he dropped a video showing, I guess it's the EP2s it looks like, test shots of our two latest pieces of the upcoming Devastator. And they're looking pretty good, I'll be honest with you. They keep in scale with each other, which is really good. That's something they kind of made an effort with, despite the fact that individually they're all different price points and sizes between Deluxes and Voyagers. They have really good articulation. They stay true to that Fluoro Deary animation model, which is always something I kind of always really want to see today. You know, I love my Titan class Combiner Wars Devastator and his size and everything, but I mean, just that Longhaul alone, he's so much beefier and bigger than the others, and they all are really kind of off model in their individual robots. And again, yeah, I'm going to keep it in Devastator mode, but it's just nice that it would have that effort at least. So not much really else I could say about these guys until we get some really sharper images of them outside of this video, of course. Evan did show off a whole bunch of cool stuff. He flashes the box quickly across the screen, the front and the back, so I'm going to show a little screenshot of both of those, and you could pause it to see how that looks. Those are clearly like, you know, early factory samples. You could even see the factory sample numbers on the back of the box. So looks really good. Again, we'll see what happens with that. Let's talk about price, though, because this is something people have been discussing. So the Hook and the Longhaul. Hasbro has said that these are Voyager classes. I'll get into where that was said officially in a moment. So if they are Voyager classes, the two of these put these at that $34.99 price point a piece. For simple math, let's say $35. So that puts them together at $70. Now this is listed as a Commander Class 2-pack box. So if we use, like, let's say Commander Class Silverbolt as an indication of what 2025 Commander Class price points will be, that puts you at the $89.99 mark, $90. So where is that extra $20? Where is that in the case of these two, despite the fact these are two Voyagers? So I guess, you know, again, you have Hook, you have Longhaul. They come with their guns, so we could say that that's individually for those Voyagers. And then on the side, you have this trailer that is clearly meant to attach to Longhaul, and it consists of all the combiner elements on the side that make Devastator's upper torso and his torso in general. So that includes stuff like his arms, his lower torso pieces, the chest plate. It's kind of unclear if the Devastator head is on Hook himself or is it a separate piece. Same thing with the fists. I'm going to assume the fists are something that flip out of the forearms and it's not something that's an individual piece. But again, it's really hard to see with these images. This was a cell phone shot, long form, Instagram kind of video, so it's never the best way to kind of look at the video and this kind of stuff. But I imagine it's probably something where it flips out. So again, I'm going to assume that all of these pieces that then make that trailer for Longhaul that'll attach to the back make that extra $20 in Hasbro's mind that then closes the gap on that Commander class. So $70 for those two Voyagers, an extra $20 for all those trailer pieces and combiner pieces, which then make, of course, are $89.99. That's how I'm trying to do the math here. I do like that the chest wing piece that is included, that makes Devastator's chest and everything, still can attach to Scrapper, which is a separate release from this set, but can attach to Scrapper and make his like 1985 G1 Instructions secret third mode, which was called the Attack Payloader, which is funny too because one of Scrapper's early script names was called Payloader, which makes no sense, but that's a whole other conversation. So it's kind of cool that it does that. You know, has that little flight mode thing. It's always kind of been this like secret flight mode that he had. Never was used in the show. Was really just a toy only thing and was mentioned very briefly by Bob Budiansky in his Universe Extended bio in the Marvel books, but again was never used anywhere else. So he has this flight mode that's kind of cool, and they kept that toy accurate kind of thing with this here too. So I appreciate that. That's cool. Also want to note something cool that the fans were pointing out, which is pretty awesome, is when you look at that trailer that's now attached to Longhaul, it kind of makes him look like the extra Constructicon Bayverse member of Overload. And, yeah, he was in red and stuff, but when you look at his Legend scale version, specifically the Toys R Us exclusive G1 repainted color, it really cements almost that look, that it's almost like kind of homaging that. I'm pretty sure it's just a coincidence, but still pretty cool to point out that you could kind of get a little bit even of a little Bayverse there if you kind of squint a little bit, like if it's fuzzy. Let's talk about just how this whole figure team is going to roll out otherwise now that we know what we know. So April 2025, Bone Crusher and Scrapper will be sold individually as a deluxe and a Voyager in that order. And those will begin coming out April 2025. Then we have our Commander 2-pack that we talked about here today, Hook and Longhaul. Hasbro lists them here in one of their slides as 2 Voyagers, so that's where that kind of reconfirms that they consider these 2 Voyager class figures. And these are scheduled for July of 2025. And then the yet to be revealed Scavenger and Voyager, the deluxe class Scavenger and the Voyager class Mixmaster, those are scheduled to release in September of 2025, and that's what we make up the right shoulder and the left foot of Devastator. And we've yet to see these yet. We only have the prototype stuff that we saw through Evan in videos and stuff in the past. So stay tuned for that. We'll see more, hopefully, maybe some nicer images of these guys, and we can find out how all those pieces really work and what we get in this box set to really make up for the fact that this is a Commander class with 2 Voyagers in it. Last thing we're going to cover quickly is just the Studio Series 86 Commander Class Optimus Prime that everyone's been loving this far this year. He did have some issues. Since his beginning of his first release, he's actually come with misassembled heel pieces, and you don't really notice them unless they're pointed out to you. They're kind of misassembled on the figure, and it doesn't affect the transformation. It doesn't affect how he stands, really. But a fan by the name of Benjamin Xavier found out that a second batch of them is going to be coming out in 2025 and has fixed that misassembled heel assembly of the figure. Now, again, it's just a cosmetic thing. It's not a big deal. But if you did want to fix it on the one that you already bought up to this point, you'd have to knock out the pin, this small little pin that the heel is attached to from the factory. And it's kind of a hassle, in all honesty, if you don't have the right tools to do it. So it's something where it isn't a big deal, doesn't really make much of a difference. You don't really notice it in either mode, in all honesty, unless you're really looking for it. But it is a factor that is there. So if you do want to fix it, you'd have to get the tools. Otherwise, there will be a running change in 2025. And how you are able to identify that if you have a Minton box one in person is look for on the back of the box on the bottom right from where the Made in Vietnam area is on the bottom, and you'll have 5 numbers that are there. You have to look for either the numbers 42971, and that's mostly found in the US domestic versions and some of the Canadian retailers that supply through the domestic versions, or look for 42431 or 42831. The key there is that you have to look for the 5 numbers to start with 42 and then a bunch of numbers. That's what it seems like, because I've looked into a whole bunch of the first releases, and it seems like the numbers on the first releases are like 41721, 41821, or 41481. So it seems like 41 is the first version, 42 is the newer version. So that's how you can kind of figure that out. And if you want to get your perfect Optimus Prime, or if you just haven't gotten that Commander class yet for whatever reason, that version 2 will be available in 2025, and that's one way to know which one you are getting. That's it for now. Just want to wish happy holidays, people. Today is December 23rd, so it's the Festivus for the rest of us, I guess, here at the Proto Man HQ. So we got our pole all erected, giggity. And again, happy holidays to all the others, whether it be Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Diwali, I think is that, Three Kings Day, Winter Solstice. I know I'm forgetting something, but happy holidays, all you guys. We'll try to get a few more segments out before the holidays, and then we're going to take some time off to enjoy the holidays with family and everything. But again, the most important holiday for me, of course, as a Canadian, is December 26th with Boxing Day. For those deals, baby, when retailers get desperate after their lackluster Q4 holiday sales. Oh, I'm waiting for that. I'm rubbing my hands together. You could hear that? Rubbing my hands together. So We'll talk to you very soon here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you in the near future.
More than meets the eye.